Hello and welcome to this tutorial in VS Code. Today we're going to be talking about setting up CDNs and links to external libraries for your HTML page. Mainly we're going to talk about Bootstrap, jQuery, Popper, and Bootstrap JavaScript or JS JavaScript. There's two different CDNs for Bootstrap, one for CSS, one for its JavaScript that it needs. It runs with jQuery. So if you're going to use the Bootstrap jQuery CDN, you do need to also include the jQuery core CDN as well as the Popper core CDN. So let's go ahead and get started. First I'm going to show you exactly how and where to find these CDNs. A Google search of them will give you a lot of different responses. Mainly you're going to go ahead and find any one of them really will work. I use Cloudflare for some of them. I use StackPath. Core.jQuery also provides some. So let's go ahead and take a look here. First I'm going to go with Bootstrap CDN, and bootstrapcdn.com is a great place to go to find the most recent version of Bootstrap CDN for both the CSS and the JavaScript. If you go to this website, you'll see they basically have the most current version on their page. Bootstrap CDN is pretty good at showing you exactly how to do it. You can see the HTML link for the Bootstrap CSS here. We can click that one and it'll copy the entire link for us. So if we go back to our VS Code here, I've already kind of added a comment of where I want the Bootstrap core CSS to go. So go ahead and just copy that in here. Now you'll see that it throws in a really long integrity. It's a Shay, basically, the ability to verify that the CDN that you're linking to hasn't been manipulated in any way. This Shay basically when you're pulling down the CDN, it tells the server that's pulling it down, gives it that basically this big long string here, and validates that you're getting the correct item for there. So that's all you have to do for the Bootstrap core CSS, adding it to the top link here. I usually add it before any of my main styles. As you can see, I've added it before my personal style sheet. That way I can override Bootstrap in any way that I want to do. And that's a good kind of a hint and a tip for using style sheets. In case you didn't know, any style sheet that is listed at the bottom is going to be run last in the browser. So if you have multiple style sheets in here, say I have 4 style sheets linked to my page, if I have a class in my first style sheet here that is also in my last style sheet here, the style sheet in style 4 the class in style 4 will actually override any of the styles in style 1 that match it. So keep that in mind if you're adding multiple styles. That's why I've added the Bootstrap style sheet before mine. That way I can override any of them that need to be. So let's go ahead and go back to our web page here. We're also going to go ahead and copy the JavaScript Bootstrap for Bootstrap, the CDN. So down here, we've clicked the JavaScript script tag. We head back to our page here, and now we're going to do it down at the bottom in the script. And again, same thing with the Shay. It makes sure that you're getting the valid JavaScript CDN, and you'll see the source right here. One more thing about scripts. Again, I will add them before my own scripts. Now, I don't necessarily interfere usually with the scripts that Bootstrap or Popper or jQuery run, so I never really have an issue where I place those script tags. Just as a personal habit, though, I get in the habit of placing all of my own personal script tags at the bottom. That's it for Bootstrap. We've got Bootstrap CDN in place. And if we go back to here, I've also loaded up jQuery CDNs here. So we have code.jquery.com is a great place to find the most recent jQuery CDN. jQuery is used, it's basically, well, it's kind of taken over the world. It's a huge deal in the JavaScript community and gaining a lot of ground. And Bootstrap uses a lot of jQuery as well to run a lot of its items. So here in the jQuery CDN, it shows you several different versions that you can get. We're going to go ahead and go with the most recent version here. Now, any one of these, so there's slim, minified, and uncompressed. Feel free to check those out on your own when you want. You can kind of see the differences, what's going on with them. I prefer to use the uncompressed, simply personal style. We're going to go ahead and go with the uncompressed, and same thing here. This gives you a script tag that you can copy into your HTML page here. We head back to our HTML, and I'm going to go ahead and place it down below here. And so now you can see here it kind of throws it a little bit janky, and that's fine. It doesn't really matter. It's going to run the same. Bootstrap uses jQuery core, and so jQuery core actually needs to load first in the browser so that Bootstrap can use it. Same thing with Popper. So now that we have jQuery core, let's go ahead and go get Popper, popper.js.org. You can go through, and if you go to that website, you can see what Popper is all about. There's a ton of stuff that Popper does and that Popper has for you that you can use. Bootstrap utilizes a lot of it in its classes. So I found that this cdnjs.com is a great place to find Popper, and I'll go over this more here in just a second. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just type in Popper there, and your first item up top here is going to be Popper. And you have the option to copy just the URL or a script tag or just the SRI. We're going to copy the entire script tag here and go back to our workspace, and we're going to go ahead and paste that in here. And we can verify that we have Popper, we have jQuery, and we have Bootstrap. That is all for adding those to your website and to your HTML page. Any other HTML pages that you do create, you'll want to go ahead and add these all to it. I kind of add them as a default template in any page that I build, just so that I have them and that they're always referenced. Back to this cdnjs.com, you can also find jQuery on here. You can find Bootstrap on here. There's a ton of Bootstrap items. This is all coming from cloudflare.com, whereas this jQuery is coming directly from jQuery.com, and this one's coming from StackPath. Like I said, the different ones that you want to use, they should all be the exact same Bootstrap file. You want to make sure that your version matches the most recent version of all of these CDNs and plugins. But the preference of the CDN that you use can be based off of how quickly it loads in your area, that type of thing. So feel free to check those out, do a quick Google search, and kind of see exactly how those work and which one is going to work for you. One other thing before I take off here, I wanted to mention, if you go to getbootstrap.com, I will be using Bootstrap in my videos a lot coming up here. Go check it out. There's a lot of information about Bootstrap and how to use it, what it does, and what is good for you. I use Bootstrap 4. It's specific for HTML5, CSS3, using jQuery. Definitely a good resource to have on this getbootstrap.com. Another one we have is the JS Foundation. This is for JavaScript and jQuery programmers. Any of those out there, definitely check out js.foundation. It's a really good, really great resource to have for anything that you need. And then cloudflare.com, which is a CDN. Feel free to check that out as well. Thanks for watching my video, and submit any comments below on what you guys find.